put this plate inside the porch. It's not that cold, but it make the whole experience just a bit more enjoyable rather than this. I hope you have a really fantastic Christmas and a fantastic New Year. Right, good morning YouTube. It's Monday morning. Back in the workshop this week, well at least for a couple of days. And it's not that cold, but it is, you know, it's not exactly summer, is it? So what have I got? I've got the workshop, I've got the log burner going. I'm mainly putting that on because I'm not 100% sure with the, I've got a log burner at home. It did take me a while to get used to that, to be fair, like, you know, to get the vents right, just for, you know, getting the fire going and stuff. This one, it was actually made by an ex-Leyland engineer. He's sadly no longer with us, so I can't really exactly ring him up and ask him the best way to, because there's a couple of vents on the back. There is some sort of vent system on the front. I don't fully understand it. Yeah, so I've just had the door open, but it made it a little bit smoky. So I've got to really get to grips with that. I have got an alarm, you know, but I don't really want to be smoking myself out, do I? Crackle. Yeah, so what we're doing this week, I will be finishing off obviously what I did last week. Anyone that watched that video, thanks very much. If you haven't watched it, go watch it because it'll explain what I'm about to do. It's not the best video, I'm not going to lie, but you know, if you did watch it, like, thanks a lot for just, you know, the continued support really. And also I've got this green oak porch to get on with as well, so we'll be doing that. So yeah, you're just about to jump into a little game which is based on last week's video, and it's called Rate My Gate. So basically I bought a load of timber to make some gates because I went to go buy these gates and they're just crap. So whether or not I'm going to do a better job of making my own, I mean, obviously I could if I do them in hardwood or whatnot, but I'm subject to doing them in tannelised timber. So I have managed to get a load of dry tannelised timber, luckily, but it is still treated. So yeah, we're just going to jump on that. Yeah, rate my gate. Let's go. Well, good morning. It's Tuesday morning. So yesterday, obviously, I did the gates. I also, while I had the little mini bandsaw out, I spin you around. I did a few of the stud tenons on the green oak as well for the braces. Started cutting the braces. I was going to cut a template, but I didn't. And I didn't film that because I was just concentrating on filming the gates. I've also been away this morning, up till about 11:30, been on another job, pricing a load of work actually, and it's for a previous customer. So while I was there, I just tweaked a few of the cabinet doors on the last job and the 2 jobs I did, because it's been 2 or 3 years now, and over time they tend to move a little bit, but they're adjustable, so yeah. Right, I've got, before anybody comments about these gates, rate my gate, I'm just going to quickly touch upon the braces, how I'm going to do that, because what I'll do is I'll turn it round and we'll talk, because then we'll have one turn round and one not. So give me 2 seconds. Right, okay, sorry about that. It's bugger to turn them over single-handedly. So what I've got to do a couple of things. I've got to take care of a little bit of sanding where there's the stamp of the C24 timber and whatnot. Got to put some diagonal braces in. So if the hinges are going across on there, the diagonal braces will come down to the hinge positions where they are on the post or the frame. In fact, I'm not going to go into detail on this, because I've actually, if you go to this video and I'll timestamp it, I'll discuss in detail the best way to work out where the braces are going to go, and cut them and fit them and whatnot. I tend to do it this way, where I don't put the brace in until I finish the door. And I see some people, I don't think I've ever known anyone do it another way, but I've seen some people do it where they're actually, no, yeah, I do. But yeah, anyway, I've seen it physically and on YouTube where people put the braces in when they start. I don't think it's needed. I guess in this instance, it doesn't matter if I put a screw in it, so that's probably why. So what I'll do is I'll put a brace in and I'll glue and screw it. And then when I flip the door back over, I'll pencil mark it and pin it. Or in this case, I'll have to go through with screws, I think, at the end. Now, it's just easier to do it that way round, but it means you have to do it the day after you've glued it up, or just turn it round and be careful. You know, it depends on the clamps. There's lots of moving parts. You'll see what I've done is I've kept the treated ends on, and I've kept them up a little bit inside the frame. Done a fly over the bottom braces. I've reduced these braces and flew over them, and I've kept the timber up a little bit and kept the treated ends on. That'll just make these last a little bit longer. Obviously, I'll treat these ends. I did want to keep the treated ends for the bottom of the doors. I can treat them afterwards, but they were terrible. They needed cutting, they were split. So I had to cut them off. Right, so that'll take, I won't actually film that. Like I say, go to this video. And then what I'm gonna do is, that won't take me long to do that. It's just a quick job. Then I can stand them up, and then I can jump back on. I'll probably get the laptop out now, so I'm not going to do a lot of filming. So I've got to jump back on getting this oak porch thing underway, basically. So what I'll do is I'll pick you up at the end of the day and just show, or if I come with something, of course, if I do anything of any interest. But because it's not going to be a complete film in one day, it's going to take me a couple of days to sort of do all that, because it's not really my everyday stuff. And I don't really know. I've got to think about it, basically. There's no point trying to get it filmed and you know, and process it for a day's filming. I don't want to spend 2 or 3 days worth of filming, cutting tenons and stuff. So I'll just pick you up as and when, I guess. Yeah. Rate my gate. Yeah, because I've brought them better. I don't know. Right, anyway, so I'll be fitting this job end of the week, because I think the roofing stuff's turning up today, actually. So I'm going to message the customer. And then I guess if I can get underway, I'd like to have this porch sort of assembled in this area. Oh, I've just got to get a bit of a move on, really, because it's, like I say, it's gone 12. Right, speak to you in a bit. Oh, yes. Right, so I'll pick you up. And that's it. I was hoping to get it stood up here, but it's taking a bit longer than I thought. To be fair, it's not bad for about 4 hours. So you've just seen then, this is hardly an Instagram post, is it? Look at the bench. So, yeah, basically I used a domino in the end for the mortising, because for those that follow the channel regularly know that I used to have a mortiser just, I've forgotten. I think it was, yeah, it was just there before I put that little arrangement up. So I used to have a mortiser, did 110 mil if I remember rightly. I think the depth on the throat on the plate, if you used to be able to do 110, no, you could do 95, and I think I only used it 3 or 4 times. And the last time I went to go and use it, the timbers I was using were they were about 105, 110. It wouldn't go under, so I had to use a mobile mortiser, which I've actually got up in the office, but I couldn't bother to set it up for this. I just thought, I've got the large domino. Obviously the tending I just did on the panel saw and the bandsaw, sort of. I did a lot of it, just chiseled it out once I'd done the slots. But the actual domino, brilliant for it, because you've got this little depth set thing here, and anyone that does anything like this, I mean, you'll see as a good example. So I brought these posts at 4 inch, but they're actually a little bit bigger. Some are bigger to the others. These are, you know, I managed to select these so they finish pretty flush. But what I can't do is I can't machine, because basically this one tapers out. This one goes down to about 95 mil. I took a video of it. I was going to send it to the supplier, but I don't know what the tolerances are on green oak. Probably not that high. Yeah, so that goes 95 mil. But over here, at this end, it's, yeah, just over 100, 104. So it tapers. So you've got to really do each, and you're referencing your tenon off the face when you're running it through the panel saw. So your mortises have got to be tailored to suit. So I thought, and I knew that anyway. I mean, sometimes you have to tailor your mortises anyway because something's not quite right. Not if you're doing like a door, but anything like this. But I thought, oh, I'll use this, because I remember when I sort of reviewed this, when I brought it, this is different to the small domino. This refers to the centre, whereas the small domino, I think it refers, or this bit maybe refers to the centre as well. On the small domino, I think this refers to the sheet size material. And there's a handy little centre mark here. So all you got to do, if you're not 100% sure, is add 7 mil to that, because I've got a 14 mil cutter, measure to there, to there. So I was drawing all my mortises on. Well, you can't see them now because I've done them, but when I was drawing my mortises, I was then measuring the distance I've got to go in, taking off 7 and adjusting it on that, just plunging. You can just about get the depth. You'll see this one here. So what I'm going to do, well, I'll go through that tomorrow actually. I've had to, the reason I can't stand it up is because I need to get the bits on the wall first, and I kind of need to get that assembled to get the bits on the wall. So what I am going to do tomorrow, I've got nearly all down it tomorrow. I've just got to nip and do one little thing in the morning, which I don't think will take long. Looks good though, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all here. I might just do a time lapse of me carrying on with it, I suppose. I'm gutted really, I didn't film a lot of it, but I just, you know, it's like, you know, well, if you've got your own YouTube channel and you're trying to do a job, you know, it's like, if you haven't, it's fucking hard. I just need to get it done. So, I mean, I'm obviously not going to get this finished this week, so I'm definitely not going to get it installed. I will get it finished. But minimum by the end of tomorrow is a little goal. I want that standing up. I have got to tweak this a little bit. You can see this is open a little bit down here. Slightly open on there, slightly open here. And when you put the square on, you can see it's just got to come in a bit. So that's not, it wouldn't take long to do that in the morning. I might even leave it till I stand it up. But yeah, waffle. By the end of tomorrow, I'd like all the posts stood up. I've got to put a bit of a shape. It's going to be a bastard to do that with a bandsaw because it's right on the end, but I've got to put a bit of a shape, so I might have to make a jig for a router. Put a bit of a shape on the ends. I'll put the picture up on the screen now, what I'm trying to make, roughly. And I want to get all the rafters cut, and I want to get the plate mortised in and everything. The wall plate, the ridge plate, if you like, mortised in. It will get fixed to the wall, but I just want it all like as a kit, really, making my own kit. and then I might get a bit of time Friday afternoon to start running this out for beads and seals and stuff like that for around the glass, and this secondary glazing detail, whatnot. I don't know. Right, see you in the morning. Low battery. I don't know where it got to, the time lapse, but this is where I got to. Taking a bit longer than I thought, to be honest with you. What I wanted to have done today was, well, I guess I've done everything, because the rafters, I've actually purposely not put the rest of the rafters on, because I just figure by the time I put that plate on the wall, because in my head I was thinking I could be quite clever, I'll show you. I've put this plate, we're inside the porch, I've put this plate, I've like notched that into this rafter, can't lift it out, but basically, yeah, that's notched into there. Thinking that then that will give me, because obviously this is all completely true, that would give me a constant measurement just to make some rafters off a template. But I just know that when I drill, this is stone cottage, when I start drilling this to the wall, this might move and twist. So I might have to adjust it. So I might, for what it is cutting, didn't take me long to cut that, you know, it's like 2 minutes per rafter really, so I might as well leave that. Obviously we've got the mortise and tenon in here, which I've cut off. Because basically what I've trying not to do is I didn't really want this to be like, you know, you see sometimes these are then planted on top, because then if I did that, I'd then have the rafter on top, and I haven't got the height, because I've got, this has got to try and go, I'll see if there's if I've got a picture of it, but this piece here
this has got to try and go underneath the door, this like the old hay barn door, and now I've got to get this high enough because the woman's quite tall that lives there that she can walk under. So I'm limited on pitch really. I've got about 18 degrees at the moment. And although, because it's only a tiny roof, no one really cares. Like, you know, don't matter really what pitch I go to, it's just a visual thing. If I'd have gone much lower, there'd be nothing left of that little triangle. Yeah, so, you know, well, basically, that's what I come up with really. Just trying to keep that down, keep that up, means that you can't go and have a massive bit of timber. Like you can't rest this piece on there, because then by the time you put that rafter on, it would just be a flat roof more or less. So it just means I'm not going to have a problem drawing this into there, because I'll put the pegs in, you know, and you drill a hole, put the peg in, then you offset the peg on the tenon so it's a bit higher up and it pulls all the joints shut, as it will do on these. This is all easy. This was all sort of traditional, and in my head that was fine. But I kind of cocked up really here. I mean, it's not really the end of the world, because, I mean, I know I've got to cut that flat. I've just left that a little bit long for now, because I might end up tweaking it. But yeah, so by the time I cut that off, obviously that will get hidden anyway. There'll be a little fascia piece. But basically, I've got no mortise and tenon on there or there. Although I have put now a floating tenon in both there. I've dominoed it out of that and that. And I've banged one in, but it's not too tight at the moment. I'll have to put like a draw, a peg in the tenon, in both tenons, so it'll pull together and obviously get one in first, get that nice and secure, and then bang the other one in. It'll pull that joint tight. And I can do the same thing here, although I haven't done yet. I'm thinking about just pegging it from the top, timber oak pegs from the top. But the only problem is nothing's going to stop it lifting. It will stop it leaning out. I mean, this is obviously taking it anyway, because that carries on through the mortise there. But I've got no way of pulling it down. That's really where I'm coming from. But all the weight's going to be on it, so I don't think it will need it. That's my logic anyway. It's one of those really where I'm just trying to give the customer what they want, but I can't necessarily do it traditionally, because what I'd have to do is I'd have to lower all of this, and I could have lowered this side obviously. Hopefully this will make sense, but I could have lowered this, but then the bloody glass won't fit in, which wouldn't be a problem, but they've supplied some second-hand glass they've brought. Yeah, just working around these parameters, and it's sort of a bit of a ball ache actually, if I'm honest, but you know, it'll look nice when it's done. Yeah, I forgot. I haven't worked with a lot, you know, I'm not going to lie, but what it does to your tools, I've got to wash all them now, because it's just, you can see all this. Some of this was already on the timber. All this tannin leach, but yeah, it looks a lot worse than it is on the camera actually. But yeah, just even like keeping your hat, putting gloves on, washing them. I've been having a bowl of water on the stove because it's cold, like keeping that warm, washing my hands so that when I touch the tools or any metalwork and then touch the wood, I don't spread the bloody bleed out, if you like, or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, I haven't even touched this. I'm guessing it would stand out. I've never really seen it go that, but I don't know what that is. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, it'll have to be, won't it? Worst case now, I'll just have to acid it. I'll put these little dovetail things in. Yeah, they look all right, don't they? Gappy in places, but yeah, they're not too bad. Believe it or not, they were absolute arsehole to bang through. Right, so I've got a load of this on the van now, because we're going to go back to last week's job and finish that off tomorrow. It's probably going to go into Friday, because I've got to hang the gates, put the roof on, do the gutter in. Well, I might get it done in a day, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, if that's obviously, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to load that up. See you in the morning. All right, good morning. It is Thursday morning. I might have to cancel today. Yeah, basically, it's 40 mile an hour wind gusts, and I'm putting these bloody roof sheets on this job. A job I didn't even want to do. So it's actually moving the van, that then. Right, so I'm going to go around there, see if it's worse in like the alleyway, then I've got to cancel it. I can't do anything about it. I'm not gonna like be grabbing hold of a roof sheet with it disappearing on me down the road. Right, I'll speak to you in a bit. I actually watched one of the videos back, last week's video, not all of it, I haven't got time, they're too long, Matt.
But it didn't look like it was raining when I was here, but the 1.5 days I was here last week throwing these timber posts in and that, it chucked it down, and it's chucking it down now. And it's also 45 mile an hour gusts. I am going to give it a go. What I'm not going to be able to do, just like last time, I don't know how I'm going to film it. I will try and pick you up as and when, but I just don't know how I'm going to do it, which is really where you come in. You know, as the viewer, if you've got this far, I kind of feel like this will be midpoint of the video. I don't know, I've not edited yet, but if you've got this far through the video and you've not subscribed, would you mind please just subscribing? Because if I can get over that 1,000 limit, I can start looking at perhaps monetizing some of my videos. And I know I'm never going to make big money, and I don't need to. I wasn't really even fully convinced I was bothered about the 1,000 when I started. I did have a small ambition to get to 1,000 just to see how achievable that was within the first year. I've only got 5 weeks to complete that. But if I do, and I can get a couple of £100, you know, every couple of months or whatever it comes to, I can put that towards cameras, a drone, so I can just make the whole experience just a bit more enjoyable rather than this. Yeah, it's just, I've only done it once or twice maybe on the channel where I've just gone out there and just gone, please subscribe. But and I find it quite cringing to do, if I'm honest. But that's it, you know, I'm in this position. I've put myself here. I've decided to do it. I have lost countless days on this YouTube, but I'm not looking for sympathy because I've enjoyed every minute of it. That's a lie, I haven't enjoyed every minute of it. Some of it's been a nightmare, but I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the learning process. I like to learn new things. This video is just for context. It's a nightmare, my word. So it's how far I've got. You won't be able to hear. You won't be able to hear. Oh, yeah, that's the top. Right, good evening, it's Thursday evening. I'm back in the workshop just because, so if you've watched the last couple of weeks, or if you watch it all or whatever, you'll know that I've been coming and doing these chopping boards in the evenings with my difficult middle child. Hi. And yeah, basically he's been doing a lot of hand sanding. How did you find the hand sanding, Jessie? Super annoying. Yeah, super annoying. Okay. Yeah, we've done loads of it by machine, but you've got to do these edges. You've got to sand them over by hand. So I've been doing that. Apologies, didn't do any more filming on that lean-to, but I didn't actually finish anyway. The weather's it's just howling. I'm surprised I didn't snap a roof sheet, but yeah, the roof's on. I actually saw the gates in it took me about half hour to get the gates on, so I've just got to go do the locks, finish off, put trims on, get her up and stuff like that. I am actually going to film that tomorrow, as interesting as that sounds, because I've got to put something up. So yeah, I've got to go home now, haven't we, Jessie? Yeah. Get some, what are we having for dinner? Bangers and mash. Bangers and mash, right. See you in the morning. Just about to go, and I got corrected then how I ended my video. What should I have said?
For all you Americans, bangers and mash means sausages and mashed potato.
Yeah, just in case you've got any American viewers, that's what bangers and mash means. Doesn't mean anything rude. Right, shouldn't have said that in front of you. Right, anyway, let's go. Morning, Friday morning. Woo! Did I say what I was doing today? I don't know. I've got to finish that job. That's what I'm doing. I was in the workshop last night. I did a video saying about the chopping boards. I'm not sure if I explained what was going on. If I didn't, I'm talking to the camera for no reason. Basically, I didn't quite get finished. Knew I wasn't. A few little things to do. That's probably going to turn into a full day. No, my luck. I've already had to park on the other street and load stuff over the fence because for whatever reason I can't park where I've been parking all week. But that's up to certain people to decide that, I guess. And for whatever reason I can't use the gate that's nearest, so I have to go all the way around, but you know, that's life, isn't it? Yeah, so that's taken me a little bit of time. Right, so I'm going to jump straight on it now. I was going to film, but it's 37 mile an hour gusts again. I even just putting my stuff over the fence, it was blowing back at me. So what I'm going to do, who wants to see it being filmed? No one. But if I show you just a little walkthrough at the end of what it looks like, that'll be enough, I think, for YouTube. That's the way I see it. Right. It's in. Finished. Took forever. Bad weather. It's alright though, isn't it? Nice and straight. Bolts on every joint. I had no business touching this job, if I'm honest, but I've tried to make a good job of it. I just felt a little bit
don't know, it literally is stone's throw from my house. I'd normally just say no, but yeah, anyway. Oh, and the gate handle broke. So I've now got to go to bloody tool station and get another one. Brilliant. Guttering's in. That's how tight it is. So it literally touches the posts. This one's actually slightly pushing the guttering in. Just couldn't have got it any tighter. Break my gate. Yeah. Oh, and I took out this post, and I recut the gravel board and spliced this little bit of fence in there. Let's see it with the gate shut. See what it looks like. This handle will break now, won't it? Imagine if it does. That's it. Whether or not I want to put a bit of cladding on now, I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it? Sort of probably gone a little bit above and beyond what I said I was going to do anyway. Yeah. No business touching it, Matt. But you've done it, and it's done. It's one of them, isn't it, where she just ain't really got the room in the house, and you couldn't really get it on because of these doors, but I've made it work. Made it look quite tidy, I think, with the feet. The punch outs for the posts. I think that looks a bit tidier than trying to dig them in there or cutting the path out. Certainly stronger as well. Right. Tidy up time. That job. Don't know why I said yes, but I did. Anyway, it's done. Apologies, didn't do a lot of filming. Filming was quite awkward. I don't know if she'll mind me saying, I'm going to say it anyway, but she's got 3 dogs and they don't shut up. Like, that needs sorting out. Like, really, they're just constantly barking, and I think she's like completely used to it, and it's not normal. So if you're watching this, it's not that normal. Sorry, I feel awful saying it, but it's part of my honesty policy. I didn't say it to your face though, did I? Anyway, I've made the best of a bad situation there with what she needed, and you know, I've worked within a budget, got it to a decent standard. I think I'm quite happy with it. I've got to stop saying yes to these jobs though. So you'll notice this year I've done a little bit of plastering. I've even done a tiny bit of bricklaying. That's normally just because I'm working for the customer at the time anyway, and it kind of aids the job I'm doing. Or you'll see it might be for a friend or someone that I've worked for years. I've got to start knocking it on the head. So going forward into the new year, I've got to finish that green oak porch. I've got some wardrobe, got a couple of sets of wardrobes to get straight onto. I've got a whole house to do, which is like boot room, pantry. I've got loads. I've got a very full diary, which is looking good. So yeah, speaking of next year, my New Year's resolution is going to be to focus primarily on the joinery and probably the internal joinery as well. If you've been watching this channel and you've been watching it for a while, you'll realise that I sort of started this with the hope within a year to get to 1,000 subscribers. Got about 4 weeks left. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Probably less, actually, 3 weeks left, I think, yeah. But, you know, another part of the channel was to sort of air my thoughts, just talk to somebody, because I work alone a lot. I think I've probably already said this. But basically, what I didn't realise was how much of a community I was going to, like, create for myself. I've had, like, I had a guy, Steve, I'll put his thing up, he rang me yesterday talking about his log burner he was installing. He's actually sent me a picture message today. I've got to reply to you, sorry, Steve. Showing me it installed. I've had lots of people offering me advice. I've had lots of people asking for advice. It's been amazing. And yeah, I just think it's a good time to come on. Yeah, it's end of the video, end of the week, end of the year. So anyone that's watching now and you've either been watching for a while or you've got all the way through this video, it's hats for you. It's to say Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot for your support. I really appreciate it. It honestly has been, it's really, really, like, you know, it's touched me basically. Yeah.
And what I didn't realise was that, like, I didn't realise that the goal of 1,000, like, so the goal to get 1,000 was to see what would happen with YouTube. But I didn't, and I did do it as a bit of a diary along the way as well, mainly really a diary. If you go watch week one's video, it might be quite funny to watch week one's video now, based on the last few, you know, definitely the middle part of the year, how good I got at doing it, I thought, compared to week one. There's a bit at the end of that video, very similar to this actually, how fitting, didn't know that, well, I'm not in the Christmas hat, where I was talking about why I started doing it. What I didn't realise was, along the way, with every, like, sort of like, the more subscribers I get, the more chance I've got for the engagement. And I'm not using that engagement to grow the channel. It's not why I'm doing it. I just genuinely like replying to people and, like, you know, talking to people. It's great. I'm in a situation where, like, my best friends don't live near me and I work alone a lot. My job, you know, there's a lot of people do what I do, and you're alone, or you run a big workshop with a load of people and it's really stressful. Yeah, anyway, waffle. I hope you have a really fantastic Christmas and a fantastic New Year. Thanks a lot for all the help and the support that you've given me. If you can now, dip into your pocket now. If you can now, subscribe and you haven't, or you can help me out with getting to this goal. I've got 3 weeks now, 3-week countdown to get me to 1,000. It's only an internal goal, I've said, it's no drama. I don't mind saying it out loud, and if I fail, I fail. And you'll notice I do all this sort of stuff at the end of the video, because I'm not one of these people that comes on Monday morning, you're going to love this, subscribe straight away. You might not like it. You know, there might only be 10 people watching this now. I don't know how many people get to the end. Anyway, if you can help, please do. Yeah, have a great Christmas. I'll see you next... Oh, I've got jury duty. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, I've got jury duty. So there's not going to be a lot coming out. But I will release some videos every week. I'll do something. I've got a really good video lined up, actually. For anyone that likes, like, the CAD stuff. I've got something I found out which I just think is brilliant. I told someone the other day and they weren't that impressed. It's probably not that good, but I think it's good. Sorry, dog came in. Have a good Christmas. Have a good New Year. See you in the New Year.